Welcome back to Ski-U-Mah Weekly, presented by the Minnesota Lottery. We're now going to transition to maybe life after a University of Minnesota education and athletic career. And to help us out with that is a 2008 graduate of the University of Minnesota, former football player Steve Davis. I wrote the title down because they give me these crazy titles: Alumni Association Director of Minnesota and Affinity Engagement. Nice business card, Steve.
Yeah, thank you.
What does it mean?
So essentially it means for all of the alumni that are based here in Minnesota, I had the opportunity to work with our chapters that are out in greater Minnesota, engage with their local alumni in that area. We have affinity-based groups, and they've created alumni groups, and I'm working with them to kind of do some different things. But really, essentially, it's working with the Twin Cities area alumni. I do a lot of different events and engagement opportunities for them, so I'm like the local guy.
A good resource is umn.alumni.org if you want to learn more about what the Alumni Association does. They put on events all over the place, whether we're in Chicago for Big Ten Media Days or at the Big Ten Tournament for Foley's, I think was a big spot there. So what's your day-to-day like? You know, how often are you working on different events? How often are you trying to connect with different alumni?
Yeah, I mean, I'm working on events all the time. I'm actually planning a lot this spring. Doing a lot of different things to kind of engage with some of our alumni, and really just providing just resources and opportunities for people, and giving them something to look forward to, as the M never leaves you.
Right.
You want that opportunity to stay engaged with others and be connected to the university, but also we're providing opportunities to help transition to life. That's the biggest thing when you go to a university. You want to make sure that you're carrying out the opportunities and the relationships that you've built, and using that to your advantage as you go throughout life.
How much does it help you that you are an alum, that you went through the process, not just athletically, of course, which is a big part of it, but just the social aspect of it, and of course the academics? What do you take from your time here that helps you in your position now?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's been a breath of fresh air for me to come back to the university and kind of see the newfound energy, and knowing that I've been there and I've been through those experiences as a student and an alumni to try to figure out what's the next step. How do I connect to my peers? How do I connect back to the university? Now that I'm in that role, I have an opportunity to kind of see what are some things that we can actually offer,
right,
and what are some resources that we can actually provide to kind of keep people connected. It's been great for me. I mean, I'm really relishing the opportunity because I think there's a lot of things that we can do very well, but people don't necessarily understand. So it's good to kind of tell a story and have opportunities like this to kind of bring that up.
What do you remember about the process of you coming to the University of Minnesota? How you got here, and did you ever imagine that 15 years later, by the time you were probably being recruited here, that you'd be back working at the school?
Yeah, I mean, at the time I didn't, to be honest with you. I came here obviously through football, and it was an opportunity for me to get my education as well. Had a great 4 years here, and when I got done, obviously I took the route of trying to pursue the NFL. Things didn't work out in the way that I wanted to, but I quickly realized that the connections that I built here kind of helped me propel through life. Like it helped me to get career opportunities in various different places, and the inclination for me was to, how do I use what I've learned to help others? Because I felt that a lot of my former teammates and peers that I've graduated with didn't necessarily know how to connect back or get connected to resources that are utilized within a university. So I wanted to see what I can do on my end. I actually left Minnesota for a long time, came back in 2014 with that mission in mind. And now within an alumni association, I think the opportunities are endless for me to at least build that relationship and that establishment as far as what we have and what we can offer, so that they know that. I think a lot of it is that you just don't know what you don't know, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
umn.alumni.org is the website. I know you've got an event this week that you want to talk a little bit about. We've got Goldie's Run coming up here in April. Give us kind of the calendar of what's coming up that people can look to.
Yeah, so you might want to tell the audience to get a pen and paper ready, because this
is fine. Pen and paper. We'll go. Let's see if you can do it all off the top of your head. That's the first test.
Sure. I'm doing a lot of them. So tomorrow is actually an event we have behind the scenes. It's one of our signature events that gives alumni an opportunity to do some behind-the-scenes tours and experiences that they won't get every day. We're at Woodchuck, which is an alumni-owned business. They're doing a tour. They're kind of showing off their story. These are some of the things that we provide. We're also doing Goldie's Run, April 8th. We're having a UMAA runners group. Right now we have about 90 people signed up. I'm looking to get 100, so please keep coming. And then on April 10th, we have our Business Bowl, which is an opportunity for people to get networking things done with our corporate chapters, corporate companies. And then on April 27th is our U of M night at the Twins. It's going to be a great night. We have like a lot of tickets to sell, but there's a great experience that you're going to get there. You're going to get a hat. Paul Molitor has made a video for us.
Nice.
We're building connections with Gopher Athletics, so I'm having some of the former baseball players who are Gophers and also Twins players to kind of be there to sign autographs. It's going to be a very engaging day. And then on May 1st, we're doing our first actual senior send-off event, which is an opportunity for the seniors to celebrate the year, but also get introduced to the alumni and the Alumni Association. And then on May 4th is our annual celebration, which is a huge event that we do every year. This year, we're actually having a keynote speaker who's a former basketball player, Mr. Walter Bond.
Nice. I
don't know if you guys know about him, but if you haven't, this is a great opportunity to come out and kind of hear from him, because I've heard him a number of times.
Great motivational speaker.
He's a great motivational speaker. And then closing out the spring on May 24th, we're actually coming back to this building. We're having an alumni tour of Athletes Village. Because I know a lot of people are chomping at the bit to kind of see what this place looks like. I mean, it's amazing, I can tell you from my standpoint, but just giving them that experience. We're going to have a few headliners to kind of do a panel as well with that. So there are a lot of great opportunities that are coming up.
Can you repeat all that? I missed a couple of them.
If you go to
There we go.
umn.alumni.org, you can get all that information, or feel free. I mean, I might be put myself out on a limb, but you can reach out to me and I can be sure to get back to you.
That's outstanding. You mentioned this new place and your graduation year 2008, if I'm doing my math correctly. Did you get to play in TCF Bank Stadium? I don't think you did, and now you didn't get to take in the Athletes Village. A generation too early, Steve.
Yeah, man.
Generation too early. What do you think of all this?
This place is amazing, man. I kind of wish I was still playing, to be honest with you. Just seeing the facilities, seeing the stadium. I've experienced it from a fan standpoint, but not actually playing in it, and I can't imagine how that feels. Playing in the Metrodome was fun, but it wasn't the same as feeling the campus, And when I came back that first year and actually saw the players play in the game, I was actually here for the Michigan State game, which was a crazy game.
Yep.
The atmosphere was amazing, and that's just something that I think is going to benefit us in the long end. Is just having that crazy, experience, but also these facilities that are here. PJ Fleck is a marketing genius and is really connecting with the student athletes, but also connecting with the people and building excitement here. I think the energy right now is just amazing. That I'm glad to be a part of it from the Alumni Association standpoint, but I can't imagine how it feels to be a player right now.
I did want to ask you about PJ Fleck, because it does seem like every coach connects with alumni to a certain degree, and former players are always important no matter who the coach is, but it does seem like there's a different energy in what he tries to do in terms, last week or a couple of weeks ago with the uniform unveiling, Marquise Gray, Max Williams, Don Barber, bringing former players back, just little things like that. It seems like he's pretty connected with what, kind of what you want to do as well, bringing people back.
Yeah, absolutely. They have some people over there who really make sure that they're connecting out to alumni, and that's something that you want as a former player, just to be connected to your program. But obviously, PJ Fleck is really doing some very innovative things to kind of bring some attention to the program, but also get the alumni excited. I mean, it's still very early to predict things, but I think things are going fairly well from a recruiting standpoint. We're involved to an extent to kind of know what's going on with the program. We can come back, we can talk to the players, we can mentor them, and I think the future is very bright.
We appreciate you joining us. Good luck with all those events. You got to get back to work. There's a lot of things you got to work, including the event tomorrow. But umn.alumni.org for info on all of that. Twins games, Goldies runs, all kind of events for any alumni out there that want to be connected. Steve Davis is your guy, and we thank you for joining us, Steve.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me.